committee, depending upon who is conducting the right job, whether it's one organization or a set of organizations, then brainstorms and says, okay, this is the structure of the publication that we want to have. And so that is the first step. And that requires a lot of good thinking, because then that sets the tone of the entire thing that is to be done later on. And then, you delegate roles and responsibilities and say, okay, this is who does this, and etc., etc. And again, as I said, going from data to information and knowledge at the field level is very critical of what you can actually draw out and filter and use that as information. So generally, what is done is you develop a protocol or a format and say, okay, maybe you cannot write as a writer, or you're not a brilliant writer, or so you think, but you have all the experience in the field. So we're giving you a format and saying, okay, tell us about the family in 10 sentences, and these are the things we want to hear about the household. These are the things we want to hear about the community. These are the things we want to hear about their livelihood interventions. And you give them a set of protocol or format and say, this is how we want the information. Right, so that is the first step. So this team develops the protocol to capture the data and information from the field in a uniform manner. And that much everybody is able to write. And it doesn't at that point matter what kind of language, because it's not actually the structure of the sentence or the paragraph, but the information put in any form of a sentence. And therefore the staff then, or the writer or the participant to the right shop, contribute the first version that goes through a standardization process. We already have a standard set or a format, and once you have that, then it's easier to review because you already have something and say, okay, he's talked about he's given a picture of the households, but this and this thing is missing. So we can go back to them and say, we want more information on this, and so on and so forth. So now you have more or less more than what you actually need. And it's better to go to a right shop than having more than what you need, rather than going to a right shop and saying, oh, we should have this data or information. Right. So at this stage, you're ready with that. And then this is brought to a right shop. So what is a right shop? Typically speaking, it's a workshop that writes. And what happens in a workshop? We come to a workshop with all that wonderful discussion. At the end of it, I would say, most cases it's documented by way of a proceeding or something. But a lot of that wonderful discussion is also lost or evaporated somewhere. Because this documentation is done by an individual or a set of people, 2, 3, 4 people, and they may not necessarily be able to capture your mind or your discussion. So, and this goes very fast, so sometimes we miss out on that. Secondly, by the time you receive those proceedings in a publication form, this team has died down, and it's like, yeah, I remember, I attended this meeting, it was good. And you look at it and you put it in your shelf. So here is a workshop where people come, critique, debate, discuss, and nothing is lost, because everything relevant is captured in that document. At the end you can say nothing that we thought was extremely important is missing. And so that's a great value to this workshop, which is basically a workshop. Generally, documentation that cannot be achieved by individuals. As I said, no individual could be an expert in the field. And even if he or she is an expert, it's very good to kind of debate the point of view and be able to say, we all agree to this. Then thirdly, there is a wider readership because of this, because the point of view is something that is generally accepted by a larger pool of people. It could be various sectors, it could be government people also presenting and saying, wow, you know, we have had right shops where we had people from, hey, you know, I work for gender issues, and in your presentation you talk about all the work you do. We do not see the gender focus. What have you done about women? And so they force people to think and extract that information and put it there and make sure it stays there. So they'll say, yeah. And the government says, no, you're critiquing the government is not right, because in many places I can give you examples of very good work that the government departments have done. So you have to tone it down and say in some cases this happens, in some cases there are good examples. So he's also happy with the point of view and so on and so forth. So that, you know, coming together, debating, discussing and agreeing, disagreeing, gives you a wider acceptance and therefore wider leadership. So, like a typical workshop, think, and something that a workshop doesn't do, write, present it, and critique it or get critiqued, discuss it and rewrite it, and actually lay it out in the form that the publication is going to be, and present it again. So that by the end of the process, you have more or less the first draft of the camera ready material that is ready to go to the press. And then, you know, you have already in some ways determined the format of the publication. But again, when you come to that workshop, you kind of pre-test it and say, is this the format we want, or is there any debate on this, and agree, disagree, and say, okay, now we want to have this publication in this format, and so on and so forth. You know, so the say of all the participants is so very important. And consolidation of lessons and way forward. Opportunity to educate oneself on the rich experiences, shortfalls and lessons learned. And every right shop I have attended is a crash course to me on the subject matter. And it's like, wow, in 5 days, 6 days flat, in some cases 4 days, the longest right shop I have attended, this one was 14 days, aquatic livelihood. 14 days, people coming from 12, 15 countries. 14 days, 67 cases and articles. It's a lot of work, But at the end of the event, you get to know so much about the subject. Definitely much more than you actually knew before you entered this workshop. So it's a huge crash course on development interventions. And as I said, even this meeting, just by the time we had tea, we quickly had this networking opportunity. Many of us know each other. And for example, when I saw, where is Sudhakar? I saw him and I said, wow, you know, we have met. You know, so that advantage. And this is just an hour of this workshop. But if you spend these 14 days, 6 days, 5 days together, and wow, this is a great networking opportunity. So, to me, there are 4 factors for successful right shop. First is partnerships, second is the process, third is the participation, and the fourth, the product itself. And I'll touch each of these. But when I say partnerships, I mean publications. I'll use this example where this was not a publication by the organization which was the International Institute of Rural Reconstruction, but it brought together IDRC Canada, FAO Rome, Network of Aquaculture Centers in Asia Pacific, ICLAM, which is now the World Fish Center, and a couple of donor partners such as Deutsche Welthungerhilfe and the Netherlands Embassy, Southeast Asian Fisheries Development Center, all the major aquatic livelihood players in the region. So what the value of the partnership is that this is no more an IR publication, but this publication belongs to all these organizations, and even today, 12 years later, this is sitting on the website of World Fish Center and FAO and so on and so forth. So the value of partnership, in fact, in many cases, we have had funding opportunities coming from one partner, and we'd say no. we want others to come in, because we want people to own it and say this is also my publication, and that gives it a wider readership. It could be the livelihood school publication, and maybe some of you will read it and use it, but most likely it is going to sit on my shelf. But if it is a publication that most of these organizations here come jointly, the readership simply multiplies by the factor of 20. So that's a great value to the partnership. And then of course the thinking and the thought process and the agreeing and disagreeing of the various kinds of organizations that are involved. So several professionals come together for a common cause. So there is this value of the consortium-like gathering, and of course there is same goals related to development. Each individual has its own strengths, as we all know, that are pooled together. Of course, getting the better experiences together, and when we talk about the process, we'll realize why. I've been saying that the wider audience readership for sure, and then it's not my publication, it becomes our publication. And it's definitely better than any my publication that we can think about. So it's not a traditional conference. Yes, it's a workshop, but the idea is that you want to capture anything that is very important without missing anything out of it, and not waiting for proceeding to come out in a couple of months, but capture it then and there and agree and disagree. Because in most cases when I see a proceeding, I'll say, okay, this is the first time I'm actually seeing the proceeding. So fine, well written, very good. But I never had an opportunity. In some workshops they display at the end and say this is the proceeding. No, not this point, which is a good way to do, but you run short of time, you don't do that. But here is a kind of a proceeding where you then and there agree or discard. So, okay. So now the process. The editing is participatory, and I'll come back to it in a few minutes. But what is very strange actually, and every time we have people come to the right shop, I've seen raised eyebrows and say, you have to read it word by word. Actually, it's not a PowerPoint presentation that you show one bulleted point and talk about it for 10 minutes. You actually, what you have written, even if it's 20 pages, please read it out. And we distribute a hard copy which people compare. And it's kind of, why am I doing this? I cannot even stop and explain. The whole idea is that when a reader is reading what you have written, you're not there to explain, actually this is what I meant when I said that. So here is a reader or the audience in front of you. Let the reader hear you and read it and say, I didn't understand what you're saying. This paragraph we didn't understand, because maybe you work in that thematic area. I'm also in the development sector. I actually do not do that. It's a watershed thing, and I didn't actually understand what is land zoning. So I want it in a form that I can understand what land zoning is. It's very important therefore to read word by word so that people can say, this is what I understood, this is what I didn't understand. Right? It's work intensive, and when I say work intensive, boy oh boy, we usually